Council resolution endorsing Occupy L.A. passed 12-0. One of the council members who did not vote for it was Mitch Englander, member of the Los Angeles City Council, the newest member, I should say, of the City Council. You were somewhat critical. You weren't there at the time, which is why you didn't vote, but you would have voted against it. Why?
I would have voted against it because it was, and I support, let me start off by saying this. I understand where the Occupy movement's coming from. I understand where these folks are coming from. People are frustrated, not just here in Los Angeles, but all over the country. But I wouldn't have supported because First Amendment rights go so far. The idea of camping out and breaking the law and creating those types of conditions goes way beyond the First Amendment.
Right now you're looking for an audit of what was spent.
Yes. I think it's critically important for many reasons. First and foremost, the taxpayers, the residents of the city of Los Angeles have a right to know how much did this cost. Some people are suggesting tens of thousands of dollars. One person has said $1 million. It's going to go well beyond that. In fact, the Lakers parade, that was a one-day parade, was $1.3 million. The Michael Jackson funeral was well over $3 million. This was over 60 days. It took the resources of several departments, including LAPD, but LA Fire Department, Park and Rec, General Services Division, Sanitation, the cleanup effort, 30 tons of trash, the lawn and the infrastructure that's been ruined. So this is going to run into the millions of dollars.
The police chief just a few moments ago said, listen, he runs an expensive business.
He does.
And that you were going to pay somehow, some way. And this was a national protest. It had happened in cities around the country, and that they would easily trade for what we were spending, for what they've had to spend as a result of lawsuits and the rest.
Let me first address that by saying and complimenting the police department and the police chief. They did a phenomenal job. One that we should all be proud of because we knew the nation was watching. With that, so did the protesters. They developed those relationships. They went in strategically. They used the verbal judo, if you will, that Charlie Beck likes to call it. And they worked to identify who the troublemakers were going to be. They worked to develop those relationships. They certainly could have done that sooner, had that direction gone in that direction, or had the orders gone in that direction. They did that at sort of on the tail end of that when they were going to remove the occupiers, and they did a phenomenal job. 60 days there with all those resources, it went on too long. In fact, there are no camping laws, and it just opens up then the question is this council going to want to support anybody that wants to camp out and protest? The question you asked me, Tony, was why find out the money? The other reason is when the council is going to be voting in the future on any of the resolutions to support protesters, they ought to know what the cost is going to be and what they're getting into. People have a right to make informed decisions, and it's critically important.
Is there a concern with the credibility of the city of residents of Los Angeles because you've got a budget review coming up this next week?
We do,
and it's not going to look good.
It's bleak. We've got our financial status report coming in on Monday, and we're behind in millions of dollars. And who's going to pay for this movement right now? Is not just the city of Los Angeles, but the taxpayers, the businesses.
You had the city council president go down. I know that the resolution didn't say camp there as long as you want. The resolution that was passed actually asked them to seek a permit, which apparently they never did. But did you talk to the president of the city council? He was the president at the time.
Yeah.
The advisability of actually going down there and giving them essentially a blessing from the city council, because that was used in the lawsuit. That was the federal action filed by the attorneys for the Lawyers Guild. So the city council said we could stay here.
Right. And the city council didn't say they could stay there per se. They said it individually. That's not what the resolution said. It said we support the movement and the theory behind the movement. There are council members that made those statements that said stay here as long as you want. We just agreed to disagree.
Well, right, but did you make a point of that during any kind of council meeting, or did you talk to them behind closed doors, or was there any discussion?
We did have those discussions, and they understood where my position was.
And they argued that?
That was their argument.
Their argument was that, listen, that every city's having this, we're going to try to use... I mean, Chief Beck just said a little while ago that the fact they were there that long actually was an advantage for them.
And from his perspective, he's absolutely correct. Take as much time to develop those relationships, not from a policy perspective, but one to deal with from a tactical law enforcement perspective. You want to know thy enemy, if you will. They weren't enemies, but you want to know what you're dealing with. Develop those relationships. Find out who the troublemakers are. Have as much intelligence as you possibly can so you can come out with strategies and tactics and law enforcement to deal with that. He's absolutely correct.
Does this open up any group coming to the City Hall Park?
I think it
If the Tea
could.
Party wanted to spend 2 months?
That's the problem we're going to be dealing with, is now what?